Hi, I'm Kendall Trotter with Remax Platinum in Las Vegas. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Las Vegas Real Estate Update. Today I have with me my good friend and fellow real estate agent, Todd Akes from Remax Associates. Todd, thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for having me.
I was talking to Todd about a week ago about doing this, and we were talking over topics, and we decided on buyer representation. So we're going to give you a short little film about buyer representation, what happens, what our job as real estate agents are. Todd? Real estate agents, their number one priority is looking out for their client, correct?
That's correct.
Helping them with financing, questions, showings, and last but not least, negotiations. You were talking to me about a deal you were in about 2 weeks ago where there was a new home builder and you were showing homes to your client, and just by a simple act of pulling the tax record, which by the way hardly anybody ever does, because these are new homes, they're not resales, you were finding out that the builder had about a $70,000 difference in some of the homes sold.
Actually, it was 130. Walked into the builder. They said, they were in their last phase. They said, let's go look at the standing inventory. So went out and looked at it. They said, they let the house go for 420 plus incentives. My client was interested, and I said, let me do some research for you. I said, went back to my office, sat down, spent a half hour, just seeing what the builder's been selling them for in the last 3 months. An appraiser today is not looking past 3 months. With the current market conditions, we want to know what's happening today. I found out that that this builder, I'm not going to name the builder, but they had sold the exact same house in the exact same neighborhood, same square footage, and one went for $350 and one went for $480,000 in the same month. So I think the guy at 480 probably could use some representation. Today he's setting probably about 100,000 in the hole. He just closed on his house 2 months ago.
Wow. I had a deal last month where it was a bank-owned foreclosure home, and sometimes these REOs they're so busy now that they're taking a little while. They're taking maybe 45 days to close, and when we got ready to close, I looked on the HUD-1 and they were trying to charge my buyer a $1,950 late closing fee due to no fault of his own. The reason why it was late closing because the title company wasn't able to get us even our preliminary title report for over 3 weeks. And the lender can't really do much on the loan until they get that. And I think we had it closed within like 5 business days after we received the title report. However, this was to no fault of my buyer. It was actually the fault of the bank's chosen title company. And there it was. So we got it taken off. Everything was all right. But you really got to, there's a lot that can go on right under a client's nose that he may never know about. And
especially with the bank deals. The bank deals are high maintenance. You put an offer in, it may take a week to get an answer on your offer, and once it's accepted, it can take a week to get the paperwork. Which, if you get a 30-day close, let's say you have 2 weeks, you're
already in the whole 2 weeks.
You're already in the whole 2 weeks. So a lot of times, what I do when I write the bank deals, I make them 45 days to give myself 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Allowance, because I don't want to deal with, getting into the penalty phase. If we don't have to fight it out with the bank, because they're a huge corporation. They don't care who you are. It's a matter of, are you going to close the deal or not on time? So
exactly,
you got to put yourself in the right position.
Let's talk about the bank's REOs for a minute. I've done a couple short films on REOs, and what we're really seeing right now with a lot of the bank foreclosures that's going on, and that seems to be what everybody's buying. I was going to write a deal day before yesterday, called the listing agent, 10 offers. Week before that, 5 offers, 50,000 over. So it's all when it comes to these REOs. I always say this, contrary to popular belief, because when you read the headlines, everybody's starving, nobody's buying a house. But when these banks drop their price to 2002, 2003 prices, they're lining up. So somebody is buying these. And more often than not, if we've got a house in the 250-ish range, and it's fairly decent, they're out the door waiting to buy it. Are you finding the same thing in your business?
Our median price right now is at about 267. I'm busier today than I've been since 2004. I get more people calling me. I'm showing more houses, writing more deals. And I got to thinking the other day when we talked about doing this video that every deal I wrote this year has been a multiple offer deal, which is ridiculous. I mean, we're halfway through March, and every deal I wrote this year has had a competing offer. Today, I have a California investor who wants to buy a house that I sent him last week in the Northwest. Drive up there, take some photos for him. Clean as a whistle. I mean, this thing needs the carpet stretched and shampooed, and it's ready to go. Bank had it listed at a ridiculous price. I mean, it was we're talking probably $120,000 under market.
Isn't that what we're finding? The banks they're listing them so low that they're always getting bid up.
It's auction style.
It's almost like their strategy now.
It is.
It is. Yeah.
My client is going to make an offer, and it's going to be substantially over list price. And even at the offer that he's making, he's still. If he gets a deal, he's walking into probably at least $50,000 in equity, and the house is perfect.
Yeah, I had one like that last month.
He needs a landscaping trimmed. He needs the baseboards painted and the carpet stretched.
Right.
And what more can you expect? Gated community, huge park, new casino going in a mile away, brand new freeway system that's not complete yet. Once the freeways are complete, the casino opens. Same thing happened in Green Valley Ranch. Same deal. This is in the Northwest area. It's going to be huge for that property. I told him, I said, it sold for over $300,000  2 years ago. Potential's there, and the area's not developed yet.
When I was showing the home that I was just talking about, I think it was Sunday, just a couple days ago, there were 3 other agents there with their clients.
Seen it?
And you couldn't even find a place to park. And I just told my guy, I said, well, maybe we better look around a little bit. And
I'll tell you what, everybody talks about, I hear, I'm waiting for the bottom.
Everybody's waiting for the bottom.
Here's the deal. For most of you, the bottom's it's already passed. When the bank's foreclosures are getting 17 offers like the property I had today, that means the bottom's gone. That property, let's say it's listed at $150,000 and it goes for $200,000. Well, the next bank's going to go, this bank sold it for $200,000.
Exactly.
I'm not listing mine at $150. I'm listing mine at $210. So it's the same thing that happened in 04.
And they have that comp for it.
Exactly.
So
same thing happened in 04. That's what drives prices up. What causes appreciation is demand. And 17 offers on a property is a lot of demand. Yeah. And the comps are going to reflect that. The banks are going to know about it. They're like a normal seller. They're looking for as much as they can get in today's market. So to me, it's time. In most instances, it's time. And of course, there's some price ranges in areas where maybe it's not, but in most cases, it is.
Well, we have, I'm sure if you haven't been living under a bridge for the last year, you've heard about all the foreclosures and all the short sales and what's happening with the subprime market. And it seems to me like the banks, when this all started, they were listing their house. What a bank will typically do, they will get a broker's price opinion, hire an agent to market that property, and put it out there. What they've been doing lately is they must feel like they're sitting on too much real estate because they're slashing their prices, just like Todd had mentioned, and now it's a feeding frenzy, and they're getting bid back up again, almost to where they were listed at before.
What I told my client today when I was talking about making the offer on this property, I said, it's almost auction style. I said, it's what the market will bear is what the property is going for. And he agreed with me. I said, here's the comps. This is what it's listed at. I said, this is what I think it's going to take to buy it. And I said, it's still got plenty of equity in it. Sometimes you just kind of got to look into it too. Hopefully there's not as many competing offers. Maybe you're the strongest financially. You have your ducks in a row. I'm sure he's talked about that on his how to make an REO offer. Having all your ducks in a row is a huge deal. I mean, I've got deals over the years where my buyer was more financially able, where I put him in a better position, and we got the deal instead of an offer that was maybe $5,000 or $10,000 higher than my offer. So that happens.
Because of the very strong financing behind it.
Very strong financing, proof of funds, approval with maybe that bank's lender. Huge deal. They want to know, the bank wants to know when they get into a deal with you that they're going to get paid. At the end of 30 days, 45 days, that the deal's going to close, they're done with that property. That money is free to lend to somebody else.
Banks do not like to hold real estate.
That's right.
However, in most instances, they're losing money on every house that they foreclose
Big
on.
money.
But at the same time, they do not like to hold real estate. They like to loan money. That's the business they're in. I think we're about out of time. We do like to keep these under 10 minutes. I'd like to say thanks to Todd Akes, my good friend, for coming by, and you'll probably see him again. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.